When you were a child, about 5 to 11 years old, what were some of the things you remember doing? Besides taking an afternoon nap, I guess you could include playing computer games or doing outdoor activities. How about watching cartoons? That was one of the fun activities I did during my childhood. I'm sure some of you would have spent some of your childhood watching cartoons too. A cartoon is a form of entertainment mostly directed towards children and young teenagers. Its colorful graphics, humorous characters, and relatable story plot rarely fail to delight the audience. However, there are many controversies on modern cartoons. According to an article called Children and Watching TV from the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, children in the US watch an average of 3 to 4 hours of television per day. This indicates that they're spending less time doing activities such as doing their homework, exercising, reading, and being with their family. According to the article, the psychological effect of watching television is that children believe what they see on screen. Without knowing, parents are allowing such themes of violence, sexuality, gender, and racial stereotypes to seep into their children's conscience. One study about the effect of cartoon violence on children from the University of Washington concluded that violence in several cartoons such as Scooby-Doo and the Looney Tunes is the cause of sleep disturbances because children were experiencing anxiety or fear after watching these cartoons. There is also a bizarre controversy where a Pokemon episode that aired on December 16, 1997 caused nearly 700 children in Japan to be admitted to the hospital. There is a scene in the episode that shows red and blue flashing lights when Pikachu administers lightning, which caused some children in Japan to be admitted to feel dizzy, while others experience seizures. The episode is now banned today. These claims about the bad side effects of cartoons are generally known to people in the world because you were probably warned by your parents to stop watching a certain type of cartoon from fear that you might be influenced by what you watch. By now, you must be thinking that the negativities towards cartoons are endless. Now, wait a minute. Not all cartoons are harmful towards the mind. Neither does it waste our time. There are cartoons that are worth our time. Although cartoons may seem unrealistic and fantasized, they are easily relatable through the emotions of the characters. There are cartoons that contain a deep story plot and characters that change and develop through what they have experienced. These cartoons don't take their audience away from reality, but make us reflect on our society, our human relationships, and our values. I've watched many cartoons throughout my childhood. I remember myself enjoying the animated films, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and many more. I was amazed by the creative story plots and the hilarious characters that were created. Those movies enriched my childhood and helped me become inspired. They provided moral lessons that I can apply to my own life. The characters taught me to try to use courage to solve problems and reach my goals. Let me share a moment in my life that never left my memory because it influenced my way of seeing the world. My mother and I were watching an animated movie. We were watching the ending of a movie where the character was happily reuniting with his family. During that scene, I noticed that the character's mother was nowhere to be seen. When I asked my mom where the character's mother was, she told me that she was probably dead. Then I asked her, what does it mean when someone is dead? My mom explained that being dead meant to go somewhere where there was no coming back, to a place where you can't come back to visit your family members again. She told me that one day she'd have to go there too. I remember thinking hard about what my mother had just said. I was probably thinking about how many more years I would get to spend my life with her. I wouldn't say I was traumatized by her words since I don't remember screaming or crying at the time, but that scene in a cartoon led me to understand the reality of life at a young age, that life contains death. It is clear to me that the plot in cartoons use some aspects of real life and not only fantasies. We get to understand how certain characters become who they are from their personal experiences, which reflect human nature. cartoons integrate history and culture to help us understand the construction of society. Just take a look at The Prince of Egypt or The Road to El Dorado. There is also story plots that are set in the future, which might give us an idea of society in years to come, such as a human society in a giant spaceship. Many inspiring lessons and remarkable ideas are at the core of cartoons, helping us understand more about ourselves and the world. There were also times when cartoons have reached out to my heart and triggered my emotions. During the recent winter break, I went out with my parents to watch the last installment of the Hobbit trilogy. I guess I was excited to see the epic sword fights between the orcs and the dwarves, and the battle against the awakened dragon. Before the movie began, the trailer of the latest Doraemon film, Stand By Me, was shown. Now, raise your hands if you know Doraemon! For those of you who don't know who or what Doraemon is a manga series which started in Japan, in 1969, about a boy named Nobita who has a troubling life. Doraemon, a gadget cat robot, is sent from the future to help Nobita cope with his life. The two then created a bond of friendship that never breaks. In this animation, Doraemon has to leave Nobita. Now, for those of you who've seen the trailer before, will know how it can evoke an emotional response. I've seen the trailer many times on the internet before, so I thought that I was mentally prepared for this. Guess what? I wasn't. I actually cried when seeing the trailer in the cinema on that day. I was really surprised at myself, because no matter how sad a film is, I rarely cried at any movie. If cartoons evoke emotions, then why are emotions important? Well, emotions help humans survive by letting them know how they feel about a particular situation, such as a sense of fear when you're lost in a dark forest, or being followed by someone unknown. By changing your bodily functions, such as increasing your heart rate or alerting your senses, emotions help your body prepare for unexpected situations. The most important form of emotion to me is compassion, which is the ability to feel others' pain, sadness, or suffering, and it leads us to help others. What's significant is that we're able to feel compassion and love for cartoon characters who don't even exist in real life, or at least don't look like us. For example, Doraemon and I share the same birthday. And one time when my teacher was going to announce my birthday to my classmates, everyone started to say, "Hey, it's Doraemon's birthday!" And they started chatting away, not knowing that it was my birthday too. But I think it's amazing that we can practice compassion and connection for the cartoon characters that we love. Cartoons remind us that we still have those emotional qualities that makes us realize that we're still human. Our society today focuses a lot on technological advancements and working hard in school. At times we work non-stop like robots, that we don't have the time to reflect on our lives and our identity. As we advance in our technology, we'll rely more on knowledge and logic, in some cases, than wisdom and compassion, and before we know it, our ability to recognize each other's feelings and our own feelings may fade away. I believe cartoons are able to help us find meaning in our lives and understand our deep emotions, because cartoons are our lockers. We can appreciate cartoons and search for the beauty in them. They safekeep our complex emotions, nostalgic memories, dreams, and identity. We all have something dear to us that's missing in our heart. Our hearts are being guarded, and the missing things can be found in the lockers. It's up to us to let our guard down and have the courage to unlock them so that we can embrace the wonders inside. Start the adventure of finding yourself with your favorite cartoon. Thank you.